Hello, and welcome to My Take. The Fall Guy is the sixth film directed by former stuntman David Leitch. He is the man behind movies such as Deadpool 2, Bullet Train, and Atomic Blonde. So, what does his latest offering, 2024's The Fall Guy, bring? And most importantly, is it worth your time? Well, the short answer to that is yes. Yes, it is. This review will be divided into two sections. Firstly, a non spoiler review, followed by a spoiler filled discussion. So, timestamps can be found below so you know when to click off if you want to remain spoiler free going into this one. The Fall Guy does quite a lot of things right. It has the perfect sort of tonal balance you'd expect from a film like this. It's fun and stylish, but also not entirely lacking in substance. Don't go in expecting deep themes and emotive moments, but this movie has enough heart to it to balance out the spectacle. So, what exactly is the premise of this film? It follows stuntman Colt Seavers, played by Ryan Gosling, who's reunited with his former lover turned director Jodie Moreno, played by Emily Blunt. But when the legendary action star he doubles for, Tom Ryder, played by our potential next James Bond, Aaron Taylor Johnson, goes missing, Colt is sent to go find him, leading to the unraveling of deeper mystery. It's a fun movie and witty and slick, with excellently choreographed action, which is something both director David Leitch and his former stunt double colleague Chad Stahelski, who both worked as doubles on The Matrix together and both worked on the first John Wick together, are now both famous for. They both use a very similar style of action filmmaking with wide camera angles, longer takes, and complex choreography. If you're interested in hearing more about this style of action filmmaking, the link to my John Wick video will be above and in the description below. But back to The Fall Guy. The film in general is beautifully shot, with some interesting costume design choices really complementing this. And likewise, the acting is on point, with Ryan Gosling once again leaning into the comedy side of his performances, which with his comedic timing, as showcased in movies like this and The Nice Guys, as expected, produces a great end performance. Emily Blunt provides an equally likeable character through her performance of Jodie, and you really get the sense that she's had to work hard to have her movie made, and it gives the audience a little insight into the intensity of all the decisions that need to be made during a film's production. The whole cast really brings strong performances, and there's no such thing as a weak link among them, with special mentions going to Hannah Waddingham, Aaron Taylor Johnson, Winston Duke, and for the small but memorable role she has, Teresa Palmer. So to conclude the non-spoiler review, if you're looking for a slick, fun action film that will keep you entertained for 2 hours, and particularly if you find the behind-the-scenes elements of filmmaking, and in particular stunt work, as something that you find interesting, then I highly recommend you go and check out The Fall Guy. And given the beautiful cinematography and set pieces at points, I would highly recommend going to a cinema, or as you Americans call it, theaters, as I think this is one for the big screen. Now, onto my spoiler thoughts. So if you don't want spoilers, click away now. As someone who loves filmmaking, getting to see the behind-the-scenes elements of stunt work in particular is a really cool thing to see in a movie. This movie really works because it was directed by a former stuntman, and you can tell. It does a great job of showcasing not only the cool side of the job, but also the dangers and the frustrations that can come with it. When Colt has his accident right near the start, that moment is set up so well by showcasing the regular bustle of a movie set beforehand. And throughout the script, there's lots of little details that reveal the not-so-fun elements of being a stuntman. It's always a pretty fun and unique spin to see movies made about making movies, and I think this movie did a really good job of showcasing that. There's quite a few shots they show in camera, and by that, I mean what Jodie's final movie looks like before panning to the set itself and how it was shot. And I really like how they explored that. The movie gives you a little window into the world of filmmaking for those who might otherwise not get to see it, especially on the big screen, and it's cool to see. My favourite element of this film, though, was actually the film's credits, because much like how the movie plays with showing us the stunt guy, as the credits roll, we get to see the real stunt guys behind the stunts of this particular film, which is a really nice touch. Some of the stuff these stunt guys do on a daily basis is actually crazy, and they don't get nearly enough recognition, and it seems that this movie aims to change that, and I do hope it succeeds. Stunts deserves a category at award ceremonies. It is one of the most impressive aspects of filmmaking, with the amount of work, preparation, and planning that does go into it. And even then, the risks of doing some of these things remain super high. It can at times be a lethal job, and sadly, too many stuntmen and women have died for their art. And that is dedication to their craft, and it deserves considerably more recognition than it gets. So I hope this film is able to showcase that to the masses, because underneath all the fun, these ideas and themes are definitely present within the film. The action itself was a lot of fun fun to watch. As usual, my favourites are the fight scenes. As much as I love a good chase sequence, you just can't beat a fight scene. And the one at the club was particularly fun to watch, particularly with a little effects added on to showcase the fact that Colt had been drugged. And as I mentioned before in my non-spoiler review, I really liked how the costume design of Colt really played into the lighting of the scene to create quite a striking effect. As for the romance between Colt and Jodie, I found it believable enough for the type of movie this is, and there was definitely some chemistry there. I like the way Colt is written to have some comedic moments, like him listening to Taylor Swift in the car like a teenage girl going through a breakup, and him struggling to open the door to Tom Ryder's hotel. He may be a cool stuntman, but he's not always cool 100% of the time. I definitely think that gave the film the additional lightheartedness it needed. Towards the end, his monologue to Jodie on the phone was quite sweet actually, and it was delivered in a way that fitted the character really well. Hannah Waddingham did a great job at playing the producer, Gail Meyer, as well. She gives off that perfect fake nice energy that's synonymous with some of Hollywood, and she played each element of her character very well. She feels villainous and manipulative, but never in a way that comes across as too dark or serious for a light-hearted movie like this. This film has some funny moments that made me smile. Both the visual comedy and the comedic dialogue is on point in my opinion, and although I was kind of disappointed that they cut some of the jokes out that were in the trailers, such as this one.
What's an ice crime?
Are you saying ice cream or ice crime?
Ice crime.
Okay, it's just with your answer, that's hard. I'm not reporting an ice cream.
Yes, no, I get that.
Okay.
I also appreciated the Lee Majors cameo at the end. The original Fall Guy TV show was a long time before my time, but in being aware of it, it was a nice little nod thrown in at the end there. I also really like the soundtrack to this film, with Kiss's I Was Made for Loving You Baby being a great choice as the film's central motif, fitting both for the themes of the romance plot, but also the rock music feeling very fitting for a movie about stunt guys. This film gave me a very similar vibe to Bullet Train, which is another one of Leitch's work, so the similarity in style makes total sense. This movie is another light-hearted, quick-witted, slick action flick that I'm sure will absolutely entertain most people, and I had a lot of fun seeing it today, and that's pretty much all I have to say on it for now. If you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching, and if you haven't seen it yet, then I hope you go and watch it and enjoy. And if you have seen it, please post your thoughts about what you loved, or maybe didn't love, about the movie in the comment section down below, because I'd love to hear your thoughts. So that was my take on The Fall Guy. If you want to see more reviews and longer breakdowns on this channel in the future, then be sure to like and subscribe. Thank you.